Hello and thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of the program. It's Sport Pizza, where we'll give to you the very best of sports show on TV. My name is Brownson, one of your hosts. And it's now confirmed, authentic. Jose Pasero has been appointed the coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And of course, his first assignment will be in 2 weeks' time, where they play an all-international friendly game with Mexico in their tour of USA. And of course, don't forget that he would also be in charge of the team to qualify us for the African Cup of Nations and hopefully the next World Cup campaign. Let's see how well that goes. And then also, we are gradually winding down the end of the season. Final day in England, Spain, and in Italy this weekend. I hope time will permit us to look at the top 4, bottom 4 of these teams, the hopefuls for Champions League, Europa League, and even Conference League. And the battle for relegation, I tell you, is very, very intense. Now, for all the tennis fans, I'm very excited because, I fall in the category as well. French Open begins this weekend for the clay court specialists. We'll see how well that goes. Before we give you all the details, let's take a very quick break. While we'll come back, all the details, don't go away. Welcome back. Now, my strike partner, Olakunle Philip, joins me at this time, and together we'll be looking at all the news trending in the world of sport at this time. Olakunle Philip, good to have you on the program today.
Good to be here, Brownson, and then top of the day to you and to the esteemed viewers out there. Like you said, Jose Pasero has been appointed as the coach of the Super Eagles after all said and done, and then a new era has begun. We can begin to say that probably the Super Eagles of Nigeria under Jose Pasero will rise again. All
right, Pasero, no doubt, is the Super Eagles coach, and we hope that he delivers what Nigerians want. We've too many heartbreaks on Nigerian football, from the AFCON exit to the World Cup. So we hope that Pasero will be able to put those things together. Now, the team that he would be working with, we have first assistant coach George Finidi, first assistant coach. Salisu Yusuf made his return to the team. Second assistant coach Usman Adala, third assistant coach. The Kesheromu got his spot as a goalkeeper trainer. Well, for me, I wouldn't say this team is exciting. Apart from Pasero, that I would say, okay, just maybe. But, if you look at the other guys, for me, looking at what George Finidi is doing with Enyimba, for me, it's not very exciting enough. Salisu Yusuf, for me, maybe with the Chani goals, but his technical ability and his integrity is on the line. I don't think such person should be attached to Super Eagles, but that's my view. And Ike Shiromo, well, not that he was very prolific in his time, but he's got an opportunity to coach our goalkeeper. Let's see what he brings to the table.
Yeah, we'll wait to see what they are all going to bring to the table for Pasero. We said it on Sport Pizza some couple of months ago, I think prior to the African Cup of Nations. No, it was after the World Cup, outside from the World Cup, the qualifying phase where we lost out to Ghana, that all this time, in the time past, we've never had it so good with coaching, because I think the best coaches we've ever had has always been Bora Milutinovic in 1998. Is the most qualified coach we had at that time. But in the time past, we had Philip Chuzet. These are not proven coaches. We've had even the time Clemens Westerhoff, who for me is one of the most successful coaches we ever had in Nigerian football. In the time past, we've not had coaches that are proven. Even Germot Rohr wasn't proven. He coached countries like Niger, I think Chad, and all of that before the NFF secured the services. Now we have the new coach, Jose Pasero. I think that he will bring his wealth of experience to full in the game. For Nigeria, yes, he's not proven. His antecedent is very poor. When we look at what coaches will achieve, but we can still do a lot with Nigeria. And one of the things I discovered is that the players tends to always respect the foreign coaches much more than our indigenous coaches. Yeah. So I think that it will probably flourish because in the time past, all the foreign coaches that have tinkered the Super Eagles of Nigeria have done well. Even Germot Rohr, yes, later he began to lose games. The performance dropped, but he still did well. And then for the assistant you talked about, Brownson, what do we want? We talked about the fact that the former coach is not good enough. That's Abdullahi. Salisu Yusuf, I beg your pardon, he doesn't have the credentials. He took bribe at some point and got suspended and all of that. Let's not forget, Salisu Yusuf is still, I think, one of the reasons why the NFF has still decided to stick with him is because he's the only coach who has taken Nigeria to the WAFU tournament, the final of WAFU, and where we lost out to Ghana by 4-0. I think that is really working out well for him. And at the point in time when he was still with Germot Rohr, they were winning games, and that's one of the things they are looking at. For George Finidi, he started like a house on fire for Eyimba. That was his first official club that was taking charge of, and he started well, won some games away, but coming back, they began to lose games. Well, right now, presently, they are fifth. On the table as we speak.
Well,
I think it's not bad.
These guys,
I think what NFF are actually doing is to have new set. Okay, Pasero as a coach, and George Finidi as the first assistant coach.
Let me even ask you this: what's the job of the second assistant coach?
The job of the second assistant coach, in a setting, the national setting, you have consortium of coaches. Yes, this one is saddled with this particular job, and they need to bring out the A game, as in terms of experience, getting the job done. As the technical they need to work together.
First assistant coach is not enough to advise the coach. He's the second assistant coach.
You are talking about Salisu Yusuf. Salisu Yusuf is the coach of the home-based team, and also the coach of the under-23 team.
Now, if you are talking about developing football, like I said earlier, Joseph Yobo, for instance, should have been given that nod of the second assistant coach to understudy. Or you look for other coaches that are developing.
Joseph Yobo is
it seems to me that we are trying to bring is it federal character they call it, where we have an Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, this into coaching into Nigerian football.
And Edoman, someone
now this is where I'm going. This is where I'm going. I think this thing is killing our sport. We need to put people by merit, not because this person is an Igbo man, this person is by Yoruba man and all of that.
Yeah, if that is the criteria, then it's absolutely wrong. But the personnel that have been brought in are equally good, Brownson. George Finidi, for me, one of the things I think the NFF are looking at, because he was not even in the picture before, all of a sudden they just brought him to free. George Finidi, we thought he was even having issues with the NFF, with the LNC, because of his outbursts about the kind of the referees, their performances on match days. And then, the way, one of the things I feel they looked at is the fact that he is an ex-international. He played football at the highest level. He was one of the, at the point in time, George Finidi was the best number 7 in the world. Yes. Yeah, playing for Ajax of Amsterdam and some various clubs. So I think that, they felt that this man is vastly experienced. He traveled far and wide, and, he can bring his experience as an ex-international to Frey, and coupled with the fact that he's proven to an extent. Anybody is fifth on the table as we speak. They are not doing badly, though one will expect more from the People's Elephant, because they are one of the best teams in the MPFL in over a decade and a half and all that. For Joseph Yobo, I think that Joseph Yobo is not proving. He's not meant to be in the technical crew, like you said. He's not meant to be. I think Abdallah, yes, to an extent, is proving. Salisu Yusuf, like I said earlier,
has been proven too.
One of the things, Salisu Yusuf is not bad. I tell you, Brownson,
let's leave it there. Let's leave it there.
Aside from the fact that the allegation, the scandal that rocked him, I think Salisu Yusuf is still one of the best coaches we have in Nigeria presently. One of the best indigenous coaches. Like I also said earlier, he's the only coach that has tinkered the home-based Eagles to the final of WAFU, where others have failed. He rose to the occasion and he got the team to the final. All
right, we'll leave it there, and let's see how well this goes. Because, as far as I'm concerned, if you are bringing a second assistant coach, you should look at the developmental process. Someone that will study and...
No, we have the man.
No, it's all good.
We have Abdallah is also there.
Away from football now. Let's talk about the fact that Nigeria Sports Commission have gotten permission from the presidency to ban basketball team from all international tournaments for 2 years. And this is because of the infighting between the two factions that have been lingering for so long. So maybe now that they've been banned for 2 years, no basketball activities. It's very sad because it's those players that will suffer for it. And 2 years no competition. I mean, it's really sad.
I think they are joking. It's all jokes. That's not you know, when there's an idea that says, how do I translate this? When one is having a headache, is the solution is it by cutting the head that will be the solution? No. I think that the sport ministry, all these things are being propounded by the sport minister Sunday Dare. There are many other ways to prefer solution. You are the sport minister. You have, you are saddled with the responsibilities, and you can take decisions to a certain extent. You can take the whole matter to FIBA as well. To FIBA for me, has played a very disappointing role. They are one of the key people who have actually brought us to the level that we have. Because when the whole issue started under engineer Alhaji Tijani Umar and engineer Musa Kida, this issue started in that manner, and I think Tijani Umar wrote FIBA. The same thing with engineer Kida also wrote FIBA, and at the end of the day, FIBA accepted both of them as president. Where can you have two parallel administrations under one umbrella? It's disappointing. And then FIFA gave one. Okay, you can begin to rule internationally. You can take. Okay, you are saddled with the responsibility of taking the D Tigers and the national teams to major competitions, while the other one will take the team on local grounds when probably the leagues and the leagues and intercontinental games. Who does that? I think this was one of the things that FIBA should have looked at, also take their decisions, and the constitutions were being amended. They were not being followed properly. I think one of the problems we had was that there were no constitution. When Alhaji Tijani Umar took charge in 2023, I think to 2013 to 2017, yes, there were development in basketball in Nigeria. That was with the year 2013, where the D Tigers won the FIBA Afro Basketball Championship for the first time. And we also qualified for the FIBA Olympics as well. I think these were great achievements. Remember that year, that was the year we lost scandalously to the United States of America. And, the problem started. Engineer Musa Kida took charge. Yes, there were development, but the rivalry has been created. And I think that some people, the major stakeholders, the major people that are well respected should have brought the two fractions together, talk to them and tell them, look, you have to do this and that.
But now,
banning them for 2 years. Now you are browsing. Let's even look at the problems now is that Musa Kida, Tijani Umar is no more in the picture. His tenure has expired. Now there was an election in, I think it was in Delta State in January, in which engineer Musa Kida won. There was another election in Abuja where Mark Idochie also won. So both are running parallel administration. I think this is really very sad, a very disappointing one, and they are not, the sports ministry are not able to do anything about it. Let's
look at the impact. What will these 2 years, how will it impact the players?
We're going to get banned if this stands. I think this is just, I see it as rumor. It can't come if we get the D Tigers are going to be competing at the FIBA Women's World Cup in September, while the third round of the FIBA World Cup qualifying phase for men will also kickstart, I think, in June, between June and July. Now, what's going to happen? Like you said, the participants are going to suffer, because right now our basketball is on the ascendancy. Those have been, let's not, one has to say the fact, though there were crises and all of that when also engineer Musa Kida took charge, but he has also taken Nigerian basketball to the highest level, no doubt about it. So I think what the sport ministry and probably the presidency will have done is to call both factions together, talk to them, what is their motive? What is their intention? Is it to destroy Nigerian basketball or to move Nigerian basketball forward?
Let me ask you, what do you think is their motive?
I think they both have good motive.
All right,
about it,
it's a good place to leave
the manner they're going about it is what is bad.
All right, it's a good place to leave it. Let's take a very quick break. When we come back, more stories to come. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now let's take you straight to Serie A, where it is absolutely buzzing at this time. It looks like AC Milan are this close to winning the Scudetto after 11 years. Wow. And of course, Inter Milan are putting up a very close chase. Let's see who will clinch this one. But for AC Milan, things are looking very good for them, even though their last game will be an away game to Sassuolo. But first, let's quickly look at what the top four looks like. AC Milan, of course, first position with 83 points. Inter Milan last weekend put up a very good show away from home to keep the chase and to keep the dream alive. Now, just 2 points behind leaders, 81 points. Now, Napoli, of course, they have nothing to do with the title, but of course, their Champions League position has been cemented. And of course, Juventus also have something to smile about. Now, Roma, Lazio, and the likes will slug it out for who goes to Europa, and of course, who goes to the Conference League. In the relegation waters, we have, now let's even start from the 17th position. Salernitana, 31 points. Cagliari, 29 points. Genoa, 28 points. Venezia has officially been relegated. Now, mathematically, Genoa might also be relegated, but we have to leave it to the final day. But Cagliari, Salernitana, and Sampdoria, lots of fights these guys has to put up. But let's talk about the top two teams contesting for this title. AC Milan, they've been fantastic. They've won their last 5 games away from home and away, all last 5 games. Now, Inter Milan closely following these guys. Do you think AC Milan can sleep? Just a draw will give them the title.
I haven't gone this far. I really don't see them sleeping. I see them going all the way. You could see the manner they took on Atalanta. We thought that the game against Atalanta might be one of their biggest as the league winds down. So, and then they were able to put in a good shift with some great goals coming from the players. I think that they are good to go. And being followed closely by the great performance also by Inter Milan was a very good one against Cagliari. I think this season's league has been one of the biggest and the toughest. You can't compare it with those years where you will have Juventus dominating,
winning the league like 5 games,
8-9 games to the end of the league. Juve, the old ladies, will have been leading by as many as 10, 12, 15 points. But right now, it's just 2 points that separates the two teams. And the good thing is that any of the two teams can actually win it. But I think that AC Milan will not want to let this one slip. They have a tough game to play against Sassuolo, and then what they need is just a draw. I really don't see them sleeping in that game. I see them going all the way. You will see the way, even if they play from beginning to the end of the game, like I said it, I think about a fortnight ago, that is the hallmark of a champion team. Even when they are not playing well, they are able to
get the wins. Very important.
I think
now on Sunday will be the climax of all of them in Italy, where Atalanta will take on Empoli, Fiorentina will take on Juventus, Genoa, Bologna, Inter, Sampdoria, Lazio, Verona. That's Chievo Verona. Salernitana, of course, will slug it out to remain in the league when they take on Udinese. Sassuolo will take on AC Milan. AC Milan must get that all-important 1 point. Would be good enough. Now, a win will be icing on the cake. Spezia, of course, will take on Napoli. Napoli, house on fire. And just to say that our boy, Victor Osimhen, got the goal last weekend. Very good header that was. Torino will take on Roma. And, of course, Venezia will take on Cagliari. Now, time enough permit us to look at the Champions League spot and the Europa League spot because of the limited time we have on the show. But let's move straight to England, where we are having exciting games as well. Now, we must tell you that Manchester City last weekend, well, I say true, the title chase open. That's what it is. They dropped all 2 important points, allowing Liverpool to keep hope of the title alive. Now, Manchester City, Liverpool, even though they still top Liverpool at this point, but do you think? What would be your predictions for the last day of the season?
Yeah, what will be my prediction is that I see Manchester City winning their last game and probably Liverpool also winning their last game, and then we'll have Manchester City being crowned the champion of England.
That's what it is. Olakunle Philip, thank you so much for coming on the program today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right, with that is a wrap on our program today. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Now, don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms currently displaying on your screen right now. You can also go to our YouTube channel. It's Sport Pizza. Now, don't forget to subscribe. My name is Brownson Uwana. On behalf of all the production crew, thank you so much for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.